Ontario and Western,
Uh-huh.
O&W. It stopped somewhere in the late 40s.
Oh. And where, you could pick it up in New York City, like at Penn Station? Could you pick it up in New York City, like at Penn Station?
No, it started across
Just
the
want to
river.
make sure.
Oh, okay.
And then it went way up to Oswego, way up to the end.
So like on
back.
the Canadian border?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And way up to the top and back. It's not there anymore. All the railroads are gone. It's all highways now.
Huh. And you remember Route 17?
Oh yeah, it's still there.
Yeah.
They changed it now to Thruway 78 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank
They
you.
changed it. And it's a Thruway. I think they call it 78. Yeah.
And do you remember the Red Apple?
Oh, everyone stopped there.
What
I
was,
used to take-
what was the red apple? What was
I
that?
used to take the kids on field trip to New York City, and we have to stop at the Red Apple on the way back. It's not there anymore.
I know. They
But
had,
it-
for
but
a
it was
while, they
there.
had the apple.
Yes, but we were like 12, I don't know, when
That's a
was that?
shame. All that old stuff is gone.
Right,
They had this,
but it looked,
this, it was huge. It was this
well,
huge
we just
restaurant.
kind of walked in.
And,
No, we didn't.
and they had this humongous apple, made out of plaster or something. You couldn't miss it. And it was like halfway from the city to, the Catskills.
Yeah.
And my uncle, there's a Yiddish term, schnorrer, who's not he'd take advantage, he'd order hot water and he'd bring his own tea bags, so it's great. But we stopped there and, the food was not so great, but it was like a tradition. Let's stop at the Red Apple.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah, the apple, it was big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
I had my kids on field trips to New York City many times.
to
We had
see
to
art.
stop on the way back. You know what? On the way back, they would fall asleep. When they got the Red Apple, they would
They
eat,
woke
and
up,
they
I'm
would
sure, yeah.
make
That was
noise
just-
the rest of the way back.
Yeah, I used to sit in the back seat with my brother and we'd fight, and then my parents would start talking Yiddish, and the clarinet started, and there was a young one, and my brother. But the Red Apple, we came alive for sure.
I think it's gone.
It's gone.
Is it completely gone or just boarded up?
I think it's probably boarded up. We saw the apple, what was
Yeah,
the remnants
I remember
of
seeing
it.
it. And it wasn't closed, I think it was open.
Was
when
it
we-
open?
uh-huh. I mean, I don't think we wanted to eat there though.
But the thing on Highway 17 when I was there,
It went right to Middletown. Huh? It
to
went through Middletown.
Middletown, right? Oh yeah,
Now 78 shoots right by.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
a two-way now.
Yeah, we used to go through Goshen and Middletown, and yeah, there was a racetrack in Goshen, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think, did it go through Mountaindale?
Well,
Or
yeah,
no?
the train went there, but I don't know how. It was a side train.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, but
Now, Mountaindale
Hi.
was Lungeons in Mountaindale?
the Londons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ford dealership.
Yeah, oh, the Londons, yeah.
There's a stack
Oh.
of books.
Oh, God.
Jay remembers
I don't know any
Luncheons.
of the names now.
oh yeah, those
Some guy took over Krieger's. Somebody took over Krieger's now. It's a whole new thing. And they made it bigger.
You-
And then you go up the hill. That's where I lived, up that hill.
yeah, near
You know-
the ski lift.
You know the flashing light?
Right, that we were talking
From
about.
Rockwell?
Yeah.
Instead of going where your uncle's hotel is, you make a left.
Well-
Because it's kind of like a weird
Yeah, I
triangular
remember that.
intersection. You go left,
Uh-huh.
and it's the first left going into town.
Uh-huh.
You go up, there's a neighborhood up in there, and he was on 2nd Street.
Second.
And that's where you grew up though?
Yeah. Do you remember the bridge? If you were going up to the Rosemont, there was that bridge. I don't know if there must have been some water or a creek going through there.
Oh, that went and emptied out into the lake.
Yeah, and then there would be like a fork in the road. Well, my brother was learning to drive and he ran into the bridge. So my parents on the spot decided to get a new car at Lungeons.
Oh, yeah.
This is 1955. That's when you were born.
Well,
Here.
here's my living room in New York. Living room, dining room.
Now, this
We
is
have
an
like
apartment?
I have
in here?
I have a camera that checks
No,
my
it's his
house.
house.
That's my house in
I
New
was
York.
thinking
Oh,
New York
that's
City.
nice.
Yeah,
It's called Canary. You can
we can keep
take,
an eye on the house.
check your house here.
Oh, so this is a live
Yeah,
camera?
that's called Canary.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's nice.
Because he doesn't
Yeah.
live in
They
there.
take
Yeah,
the
right,
picture
no,
of the
that's-
whole house.
He has
That's very
In
nice.
fact, last night,
temperature.
my neighbors
And we
came
got
to
an email
check
of,
it.
like somehow the boiler
And-
goes out in the winter. 'Cause
Right.
They were
burn,
in there and I
fuel.
was-
It's
Yes,
the only part of
right.
the country that burns gasoline for heat.
Really?
You see here,
Gasoline, basically.
they
have
came
10,000
last
gallon
night.
Wow.
gas
Oh, that's
tank
terrific.
around.
I took a picture of them checking the house.
Heater goes.
It's called Canary?
See,
Not a good picture, but it's good that
No,
they're
it's
doing
not
that.
good.
We have a home in the
They
mountains.
came
Sometimes I
in
wish I
at
had.
night, they're checking the
Yeah,
house. They're in
Oh,
there.
yeah. So there, you have cameras all around?
Yeah, see
In
the,
and
We
out.
just have one there, but I was telling your
the
wife, it
camera's there
it
day
has
and night.
temperature on it, because since he doesn't live there in the
Oh, yeah.
wintertime, if the boiler, because
Goes.
they burn fuel oil,
Oh, okay.
and if something happens, you know, it's kind of not a clean
Yeah.
thing, so that, if heat goes out and temperature drops, we can tell
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah. No, that's smart.
because nobody's in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it does get cold in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to ask you, do you remember the candy store, that guy Abe?
Hey, oh yeah.
What was his story? He was a mean son of a gun. You know, and it's a candy store with kids going in and
Hey,
out.
what was his name?
The store was
He had a
always
son. I
dark.
was teaching his son accordion.
Oh, okay.
Name Quatman, I think. Quatman.
Was that his
Take
name?
the
I
big
never, boy, he was not
What?
nice.
Oh, yeah, good.
It was always dark in
That's
there.
all gone. That
Yeah, I
whole-
imagine.
I mean, if
Everything.
you want,
was
they
gone.
Yeah, yeah. I
be
always
shy.
wondered
Take the
about
big
him, why he was the way he was. Was he a Holocaust survivor? I don't know, but he was.
Well, why would you have a candy store if you didn't like children?
I know, and it was dark, and he was not accommodating at all. And then, yeah, you remember
Not
Sable-
accommodating. Why? You trying to get free candy? No.
No, he just like we were bothering him, you know, and here we're trying to, get candy and whatever else, newspaper.
Buy some of his
And you have to
product.
sell about
Yeah.
a penny candy to make any money.
Yeah, whether he thought maybe we were going to steal stuff, I
Yeah,
don't know, but
maybe.
he was not nice. But most of the people, so you remember Kessler? Was it Duddy Kessler?
Yeah, Dooley, oh yeah, he had the meat store.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he died. His sons are still around.
They have the store?
Yeah. His sons are, no, the store's gone.
Okay.
Everything is gone.
Yeah. But Saperstein is there? Abe Saperstein?
Saperstein, yeah. Saperstein,
And he was the electrician, right?
yeah. There's nobody there anymore.
Huh.
Dudley Kessler, Shami Kaplan, they're all gone.
And you do remember the Mighty Atom?
I don't remember, I only saw pictures of him.
Yeah. We used to go to his hotel when he did all these feats.
He,
I was telling
Did you
Jay.
work at your uncle's
He-
hotel?
No, he had his own. He and his family had the Paramount Lodge.
Oh, I kind of remember. Yeah, okay, so
And
he
the-
It was
He-
up the hill from where the Rosemond. So if you get to where, there's that junction when you get to the top of the
the
hill.
left or right.
And he was left. And he was a leftist. But he was, he apparently didn't want to go into the Russian army. And he deserted and came to America.
Who,
I mean,
him?
the Mighty Atom, yeah. His name was Greenberg. I think
Yeah?
Joseph Greenberg. And he was short and he had long hair to his butt. And he would do these feats of
Yeah.
strength. He'd break these chains, he'd put it on his, and he had a little device and he'd go, "Ugh," and these chains would break, and he'd take nails and you could feel them, and he'd bite them in half.
What?
And
That
he
was
pulled,
Wasn't there-
he
isn't there a
pulled the
documentary on
plane
him?
by his hair.
Isn't there?
So he
It
tied
seems
it.
like I've heard of that one
Yeah.
before. Where
And his son does. He's alive. The Mighty Atom Jr. He's in his 90s, I think. And
he lived in Woodridge, or
Yeah, he had a hotel in Woodridge. And then in the winter,
Okay.
he used to sell health products in Coney Island. So he'd see him
Oh,
in Coney
really?
Island.
oh my gosh.
And it turned out his
Yeah, his grandson.
grandson. So it must have been on his mother's side.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Right.
His name was Ron Rosen, and he was one of the first acupuncturists in the state of Colorado, and he has since passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And his
Kind of a funny connection. That,
Yeah, that is.
Did you go up there every summer? Is that it?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
but I took her.
Yeah, but I went up to visit once, and that was probably Hava was 23, so it's probably maybe it was 20 years ago, 18, maybe she was 5 or something. But
Well, then, I never had you in my classes then.
no.
Yeah.
So did you get
went to
taught by your
school-
dad?
You went
No,
to school.
he kind of. I had there was 2 art teachers, and I had the other art teacher.
Yeah.
And then he retired. Like maybe right before. Well, actually, when I graduated high school, he retired.
Oh, okay. Just keeping an eye on it.
Well, since we're pulling this one apart, then I'll
Yeah, I know.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you still have relatives?
No,
Was
my
there?
aunt, Ann Rosner, she was cutting, the library. I don't know if she passed away. We weren't.
And she was who? How she was
My father's mother's sister was
your
Clara.
father's mother's
Yeah.
sister.
Bubby's sister
So your
lived in
aunt.
Woodridge.
So your aunt.
And she had a daughter, right,
Right. Okay.
named Anna, who worked at the library.
Oh,
You
okay.
remember Anna?
Who's
What
that?
library?
Anna Rosner.
Oh, I know her, yeah. She retired. She went to Port Jervis
What Jervis?
by her sister or something.
Her mother.
She died about 10 years ago.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to visit her.
Oh, she was librarian at the high school.
She was a good teacher.
Was she?
No,
Yeah.
at the school or the public library?
I thought it was a public library. Was she at the public library?
No,
At
ever
the
the school library.
School library, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
She was a school librarian.
Uh-huh. Now, how big was the school? How many students were at this school?
She was very good.
Small. Right? And well, your graduating class was, 95 people. It wasn't that tiny. It
I
wasn't
mean,
tiny.
your graduating class was 95? Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, for a small town, right? I mean, I was,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there were 4 grades or just 3 grades. Like, was it 9th, 10th, and 11th, or
Oh no!
10th,
So
11th?
my class, my graduating class was 95, and they had. I was telling Barry they had. When he first started teaching, they didn't have a centralized school,
Oh, okay.
so there was just a school in Woodridge, and I think it was like the whole.
Oh, really? Oh.
And there's one in South Fallsburg, and there's all the towns had their own, and then they built a centralized school in Fallsburg, and that's where I went. But when my mom graduated, he taught my mom. In the
That's how
Woodridge
they
school.
met.
And the Woodridge school. Dad, how many kids were in the Wood when you
Well, how many?
when you started teaching? You were in the. There was no Fallsburg High School. There was.
No, there were little schools here and there. I had to carry my stuff all over. Then in 1958, they built a new high school, beautiful high school, and an elementary. Beautiful.
How many kids? How many
1958.
kids were in those classes?
Before that, I used to go from school to school.
Oh.
Fallsburg, then Woodburn, then Woodridge, then Loch Shelswick, and then
Was it kindergarten through
I
12?
carried my stuff in a box. It was terrible. Then the state man came down
happens
from
to
New York
art.
State. He says, "How many people are working with you?" I said, "Me." "Oh no, this job has 2 more." I was doing a job with 3 men.
Yeah.
Then they hired 2 other people to do it. They hired an elementary art teacher and another high school art teacher than me. And for about 6 years, I was doing it all by myself. Oh yeah, they worked the heck out of it.
so you traveled to different schools?
Yeah, I would travel to Woodburn, and then next week I travel to Hurleyville. Then next week I go to Mondale. But then they combined us into one big school.
Right.
They were an elementary school now and a high school. Beautiful, brand new.
Yeah, there's still no middle school.
Yeah, I used to
No
go
middle
out.
school,
So
Yeah.
where do those middle school kids go?
It's high school 7th through 12th,
Oh, okay. I
and
see.
elementaries through
Huh.
6th.
Through 6, yeah.
he still gets calls about every year to come to the reunions.
Oh, really?
Well, that's
He's been on he's got like 400 friends on Facebook, and
That's
people
Yeah, he keeps.
contact
amazing
him.
Keep in
And
contact with a lot of people.
yeah.
He's on his iPad a lot, and
Yeah, he seems like he's pretty computer savvy.
Yeah.
Although
Checking on his house.
he,
and, yeah.
Yeah.
well, he was telling somebody thank you, thank you, and he does the talk to text. And
Oh, yeah.
he got
Oh, yeah,
his son Alan got a call from a friend who saw on Facebook that he said "F you" instead of "thank you." With like,
Autocorrect.
remember pops when you when you said thank you, thank you.
What's that for what?
Remember when you said thank you and it came out something else?
Oh yeah, you gotta read that. I didn't read it when I saw it. I didn't read it.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, thank you, and I said So one of my students said, Mr. Longer, you're not like that. Of course I never said those words.
I know. Don't trust him. Don't
I
trust
said,
him.
Well,
read
shut
it.
up.
Yeah.
I couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
But once it's out there, you
Yeah, I know. Well, she got a text, something about a animal.
Well, someone texted and said, someone that I knew, but I didn't recognize. It was it was like a secondary phone, and I didn't have it as in my contact. And she says, "We're really we're really sad. We're going to have to put their horse down." And I'm thinking, "Oh, this is like an important text, and they've clearly texted the wrong person."
Yeah.
So I said, "I'm sorry. I don't think I know you." And my heart goes out to you. I'm a real animal lover.
Yeah.
And it came. They autocorrected to anal lover. So she texts back, she goes, "Lee, it's Tammy." And she said, "You have made us laugh so hard and I'm otherwise really sad." It's like, well, yeah, I really intended to do that. But I have not. That's been a good 7, 8 years.
Did you recognize it right away, or did
No, I don't think I did.
no?
I don't think I did.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because she texted back right away. She
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, this is so funny, Lee, it's Tammy."
So,
So, but she still talks about it. I mean, I'm known as the anal lover.
so did you grow up in Woodridge?
No, Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay. And when did you move to Woodridge?
1950.
50.
I graduated from Columbia, 1949, or 50, September 50 I went to.
So is that to take a job? Is that where you went to?
Well, Columbia had a job, they tell you where the jobs were,
Oh, okay.
you know. So they had that, so I went to check and he was sitting at the pool, what's his name, Weiss? The superintendent was sitting at a pool. He wasn't even in his office. So the principal, Lou Bloomberg, took me to the pool. He was at one of the hotels. He was sitting in the pool like this. And Lou Bloomberg came and introduced me to him. And he showed him the credentials, hire him.
Columbia?
Yeah, Columbia.
He said hire him
I'd
now.
say hire him, yeah.
Just like that, I worked in Pennsylvania. I went for the job. They wanted $1,000. Politicking in Pennsylvania was bad. Each board member wanted $200 a vote for you. There were 9 board members.
Oh,
I didn't have no $1,000.
Yeah.
I just go out of the army.
Bribe.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
so I
bribe,
left
yeah.
there and they didn't charge you nothing, and they paid $1,000 a year more.
Huh.
I never asked for a penny. And their salary was great. I tried to go back one time after about 7 years, and I said, "Well, what is your top man making here?" Well, he's making $6,000 after 22 years. I was in New York about 10 years. I was making 13,000. He's making 6,000 after 22 years.
Yeah.
I said, "I'm sorry, I can't take this job." So I walked out.
That's a big
The
difference.
school member
Yeah.
that heard what I was making, he jumped out of his seat. "Yeah, I've done 13 years, I'm making 17,000, and this guy's making 6,000 after 22 years. Forget about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't pay much.
So what was the Catskills like, Woodridge, when you first got there? Were there
Oh,
hotels? There was a
It was
heyday.
jumping place, jumping. I used to go to Concord. I made more money playing my accordion at the Concord than I thought.
Huh.
My first check was $229 a month. I played the Concord 25 an hour.
Wow.
Just before, I played before they went to dinner in the lobby. I got I was there, then I was teaching accordion $4 an hour. Well, $4. I was making more on my accordion than teaching. It's a crime.
You know an accordion?
I do because I've seen one at his house.
Both my cousins, believe it or not, Alan played the accordion. My crazy cousin, and Normie. And Normie was very good in the accordion. He was a Rosenberg, but he changed his name to Robbins because he didn't want to be too Jewish. You know, he wanted to be able to.
Oh, funny. Really?
And you know,
Yeah.
Barry changed his name to Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you say Rosen
No.
at times, or
No.
different names.
It was I grew up with the name Kraut,
His father's.
and my dad's name, and I never liked it. And my mother's maiden name was Rosenberg. So
Oh.
I decided, and then my
okay.
brother changed his name from Kraut to Krausen. So we go places when my parents 3 different names. And we all got what we
Same family,
wanted.
right? Well, it works out.
Yeah, it worked out. I like the name Rosenberg.
Yes. It's a great name. Fits you.
So you spent time. You worked at the Concord. Just that was a huge place.
Ken's brother was a big shot there. Ken's brother and then his son was there. Ken's brother was a very famous basketball player in the 70s.
What was his name?
In the 20s. Ken's brother. No. So he would hire me and I would go. His son was in my class. I'd go there once or twice a week when they called. That was a nice place to call from.
Well, they were not good.
It was
I
big.
worked there. Yeah,
It was
they
big.
were not good to
You
their
worked
staff.
there, huh?
That was a busboy, you know.
Yeah. They could see 3,000 people at
Yeah,
dinner.
they
Yeah,
could.
that's amazing.
It was
They,
huge.
3,000. Yeah, they had when we were there, I was working there, they had Mustang car owners. And, you know, it was like a convention.
Like an
Yeah.
association or
And
something.
there were like more than 3,000. They had like a shift and we just kept working, you know. You know, Jay was talking about how hard it was to be,
Yeah.
were you a busboy or a waiter or?
Busboy then
Bus,
later.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
worked in the dining room?
And yeah, the cats, I worked at also the Harmony.
Of the Harmony?
Yeah. That was a good job. The Concord wasn't.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Concord was.
It wasn't a good job because it was just.
They wouldn't let the staff, you know, mingle with the guests. You know,
Oh.
they weren't. We just felt. I felt, and I had a good friend, and we both quit and wound up working in the city, and then
Yeah.
hitchhiking to Chicago. He was from Chicago.
It's a shame it's all gone.
Yeah.
They built a casino, I think it's 17 or 18, so I have a picture if I can find it, show you.
Yeah, Jay was telling me that there was a casino, but it was small, and then they.
Oh,
built
the
a big-
Monticello Casino, I think it's still open,
Oh,
but no one's there. So they built one 17 stories high, I don't know who's gonna go to.
Yeah, really.
They opened up in March. So
And that's
They-
not native lands.
they're
is it?
trying to depend on gambling, but there's nobody up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
No one has money either.
Yeah, it's an odd place for.
Well, now, one of the politicians, when they open up, I don't know anyone with expendable income, that they will be coming here.